Hey guys, it's Jennifer here with PressPassLA. Thank you for joining us back on the red carpet at the Annual Saturn Awards. This is the premier award show honoring horror and sci-fi, and we talked to everyone today from William Shatner to RoboCop. And a lot of great coaches tell you that you have to have a full life, otherwise you have nothing to bring to it.
You know what, Elia Kazan said it best. I was in a session with him, and he said, everybody's putting your life on hold for your career. This is something. You're 27 years old. You know, I wasn't going this. I wasn't going to this because I had an audition or this. I had to do that. Blah, blah, blah. I had some great invites, man. Some guy invited me a freebie to go to Paris. 27 years old in the theater, you're making $49, a week, or $100 a week. You got the money. And so I was turning down all sorts of opportunities to go. Friends offered me, let's go to Niagara Falls with it. No, I might miss the. And then I heard Kazan say, if you are putting your life on hold because of your career, no matter what your career is, you are missing your work, because your work is about everything except your career. Your career is a shell into which you pursue envy, success, but it is not your work.
That's such great advice. So true.
No, but that's Kazan, man. I mean, he'd done it. So he said this: if you're not taking that dance class, if you're not learning that language, if you're not playing that instrument, if you're not going on that vacation, if you're not studying that all this stuff, you're not writing that book you want to write, because of your career, forget your career. Go do that.
I've gone to work with Hugh Jackman. You're in all the Deadpool, Wolverine movies. Tell us, what is it like to be on set of such a big franchise like this?
The set aspect of it is crazy. It's the most well-oiled machine I've ever worked on. But person-wise, everyone's so normal and humble and nice. And I knew Hugh from before, so it kind of felt like homey. And it was in the UK, and it was with a bunch of British crew that I'd worked with before. So it was weirdly familiar, within the fact that I was in a huge Marvel movie. But yeah, pretty chill.
Tell us, is there anyone here, it's sci-fi and horror, is there anyone here you're fangirling about yourself?
Yes, I heard that Mark Hamill is here, and I met Mark Hamill when I was 11, and I hope he remembers who I am, because I will definitely be following him around tonight.
You have some weird deaths on this show and other kind of. What's one of the weirdest things that your character has encountered?
I mean, obviously, killing my mom in the first season. That was not fun, at least for my character. Honestly, I'd probably say throwing Coy, the stunt double, against the wall in the second episode of season 4. Yeah, that was very weird. It was cool to film, but not fun for him.
Yeah. Last question, as a fan of sci-fi, horror, anyone that you're really kind of geeking out to see today?
Ooh, I really like the Chucky show. So I think Zachary is also amazing.
He's here, yeah.
Yeah. So it's cool to meet him. That's what I'm excited about. I'd say, yeah.
I was having nightmares. I went to Halloween Horror Nights, and they had a whole.
I love Horror Nights. My favorite event ever.
I love it. It's become a tradition. We go every single year when we can.
They had a whole Megan display there this year.
So cool. Oh my god. And then in Orlando that one year when they had all those Megans walking around and dancing.
That was awesome. Yeah.
What is it like to go to Universal and see a whole thing based on something that you guys are in?
Honestly, it was so funny because last year during Horror Nights, I was on the terror tram and I was like, wait, that was Violet. And then I was like, wait, that was me. It's honestly trippy. I kind of forget about it at times. And then I'm like, wait a second, yeah, we're actors.
Super grateful and proud of that it got to that.
Never would have thought, yeah. Super great.
So what's next for you guys? Are you working on new projects, or is there types of projects you would love to do?
We have a few things in the works.
Yes. And I just wrapped Megan 2.0 in September.
And I wrapped Black Phone 2 literally last month, or not even last week.
Last week, yeah.
You also just had another big superhero movie that you were in. So what's it like being in these iconic franchises?
You know what? The iconic part comes in so much after I've been a part of them, but I think what I've taken the most from these projects is how hopeful these characters are and how positive the worlds that they live in are, and I think it's definitely rubbed off on me. You know, I started this role at Cobra Kai when I was 16, and I really needed a hopeful character like Miguel in my life, and it totally changed kind of my perspective on things. And furthermore, with Blue Beetle, kind of taking that to a whole superhero level, really was like all of those were healing experiences for like my inner child, and I was so happy to get to like document all of that. And although it's kind of like my craziest, most vulnerable years to have documented on camera, I'm so happy that I got to do it.
So hi, David. So congrats on Late Night with the Devil. It's doing amazing. What does it mean to you to have such success on this film? It was, you guys made it for a low budget. It's doing so well.
The dream for me is telling a story and then people seeing that story and it like touching their hearts or minds in some way, whether that scares them or it makes them think about the world in a different way, maybe makes them feel less alone. And what has been such a gift with Late Night with the Devil is while we were making it, because it's a small movie with very small budget, small little team of us, you go, damn, no one's going to see this. And it's such a special film. It felt so special while we were making it. And then I saw it early cut and I go, this is a really, really unique, special film. And no one's going to see it. And thank
God you were wrong on that, right?
Thank God the power of film festivals. Like South by was an amazing launch pad for us. They've always been an amazing launch pad for new artists and new films. And then a company like IFC and Shudder taking a chance on it and helping to really get it the kind of distribution and release plan that we never imagined possible. And now people who I'm big fans of coming up to me and saying, hey, I really love Late Night. I got a text from Paul Rudd the other day out of the blue saying, hey, because we've worked together on a number of movies. He's a good friend of mine, but just like the fact that he saw it and liked it, it's like, wow.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, what's next for you? What can we look forward to? Got a new project in mind?
I'm doing a series for Apple called Murderbot based on the Martha Wells novels, and that will be coming out in a few months. I'm very proud of the work we did on that. I have a film called The Life of Chuck that Mike Flanagan wrote and directed, an ensemble piece based on a Stephen King book. And I've also got Dust Bunny, the first feature film from Brian Fuller, in which I get to play a really fun, strange little character I can't wait for everyone to see.
You played an iconic role in Star Trek, and in that you go into space, but many people will never get to really go into space, and you did. So I want to ask you, what was that experience like?
You know, it was such a profound experience that what I usually do when I'm asked that question by people who just ask the question, I say, great, and that's it. But it's complex and too complex to answer it in its complexity. So it was life-changing and profound.